Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by again on such short notice. We are back with another edition of IDP. Today we have some kind of heavy shoegaze from Texas, some country rock from the Chicago area, some indie surf pop from France, and also some, what we're gonna call some arty indie pop as well. As this video is posting, we are celebrating a new year where I am at. So happy 2568 to everyone out there, that celebrates. And seeing as it is a new year, I don't think there's any real reason that you can come up with not to have yourself an ice cold beer and also a minimum of 2 meat sticks. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna kick things off with a band. It's the debut album for a band out of they're from Texas, but I think they're down in the Rio Grande Valley area, down by the what I can only assume is a big, beautiful wall. The name of their debut album is called Sunset Funeral, and it's out now on Sunday Drive Records and Deathwish. This is definitely 90s alt-rock kind of worship going on here, shoegaze. Also modern, more current shoegaze vibes as well. There's thundering drums, very reverby or reverbed ethereal vocals, thick guitars with lots of pedals, lots of heavy 90s guitar rock vibes. Occasionally I hear shades of bands like, let's say, Catherine Wheel, but only just little nuggets here and there. Other times you hear something like the more recent Death Heaven, like that kind of vibe. It's somewhere veering from the 90s alt-rock sound to the more modern, heavier shoegaze. So for me as an album, when I listen to this, I think there's a handful of tracks that really stand way above the rest of the album for me. So I think it's a bit of an uneven LP for me overall. But I do think that this is one that a lot of folks out there will dig a lot. Like I don't know that this completely works as an album for me. I do like the band, and it's one that I'll continue to follow. But I think that there's others out there that are gonna like this, that this is gonna work a lot better for overall. If you are down with the kind of heavier, modern shoegaze with a lot of 90s alternative rock vibes, I think this is one that is definitely worth checking out. Again, the name of the band is Glare, G-L-A-R-E, and the name of the album is Sunset Funeral. Next, we have the second full-length release from a band out of Chicago. They call themselves Tobacco City, and this album is titled Horses, and it's out on Scissor Records. This is fairly laid-back country rock slash alt country slash Americana, if you will, with a big indebtedness, I would say, to those 2 Graham Parsons albums, GP and Grievous Angel, particularly because of the really beautiful male-female vocal interplay, vocal harmonizing that is on display throughout this whole album. There's prominent pedal steel guitar, there's a bit of organ, there's Hammond dulcimer. There's a lot of drug references in the lyrics. Kind of has a roadside, dark, rundown bar on a remote highway kind of vibe. It kind of has that, like, you know, like you're driving in the middle of nowhere, USA, and you stop off at a rundown bar on the side of the road. It kind of feels like, has that kind of feel to it. Yeah, a lot of like 1970s roots rock and country vibes as well on display. This is a solid album, I would say. I have not heard the debut release. This is their second album. But yeah, this is worth checking out if you're a fan of alternative country, I think, if you will. Is that a thing? Or like Graham Parsons, for sure, worth checking out. Once again, the band is called Tobacco City, and this album is called Horses.
Lost in the light, drunk on a night, eating poisonous mushrooms. I can see for
Okay, up next we have another sophomore release. This is the second studio LP for a French quartet. I think they're out of Normandy or somewhere near Normandy area. And they are called Beach Youth, and this album is titled Sunbathing. I am gonna point out that if you Google Beach Youth Sunbathing, I think you might wind up on like a pedophile watch list or something. So I would watch out for Beach Youth Sunbathing Google searches. It's gutsy. So this is indie pop, a little bit jangly indie pop with a lot of surf rock and new wave elements. It is a little bit twee, I think, you know, mainly in the vocal style, but just generally as well. Occasionally brings to mind, and I think I've mentioned this before, brings to mind like the French band Phoenix, at least their early Phoenix, that their sound, just a little bit here and there. We did talk about the debut release that came out back in 2021, so we talked about it in 2021. That one was called Postcard. I really enjoyed that one quite a bit. This one is perhaps a little less jangly, a little less upbeat overall, at least that's the way I'm remembering it. So I would say maybe just less immediate. The way the album is structured, it starts off slow. So I feel like if you just dip your toe in, you might not last till it kind of picks up. Anyway, I would definitely say I still enjoy this one overall. I probably right now would say I don't like it as much as their debut release, just from memory. Maybe I'd have to go back and reevaluate, but yeah, it's one that I like. It's one that I would recommend for, you know, to the indie pop kids out there that can handle a little bit of twee surf thing going on. Yeah, so that is Beach Youth, and the album is titled Sunbathing. It's out now on We Want to We Chord and Fogwood Records.
This is not the time. Unpleasant surprise, 'cause you are the other. 'Cause you are the other. Roughness in disguise. 세단의 예망.
right, next we have the third full-length LP for a band that I think is originally from Austin and then maybe moved to Los Angeles and then was in Atlanta. I don't know if they're still in Atlanta or if they're in Los Angeles, but nonetheless, it doesn't even really matter. They're called, the name of the band is Mamalarky, and this album is titled Hex Key, and it is their first release on Epitaph Records. Their first two LPs were out on Fire Talk Records, and we talked about both of those albums on this channel. Had kind of a weirdo, fun 90s indie pop guitar rock vibe. I think I would say a little bit reminiscent of the Swedish indie pop band Komida, like their early Komida stuff. I found with both of those first two albums that I like them initially, but I think that I like them even more as time has gone on. So for this one, the band, I think recorded it all on their own in their own studio in Los Angeles. Has a very wide range of styles. It's a very diverse set of songs. Definitely a bit different to those first two albums, just in the overall vibes or the aesthetic of the, jumping styles like they do. It goes from arty indie rock, psychedelic pop, even like soft rock or like yacht rock kind of vibes, to even more modern art pop, even prog and R&B. So it kind of runs the gauntlet of styles. I think this is a really talented young group, particularly the lead vocalist, Livy Bennett. She was in previously, I think briefly in the band Cherry Glazer. I think she is a really, really good guitarist. I think the varying styles that are present on this album probably would turn a certain amount of people off, I would say, because it's definitely peculiar. But I'm definitely digging it, and I suspect that this is another one that might grow on me over time as well, similarly to those first two Mamalarky albums. So once again, the name of the band is Mamalarky, and this is their third LP, which is called Hex Key.
I found my way amidst the haze,